minority are too often the harshest, and speak without merit. When you consume media, and you don't enjoy it, you criticize, which is your right as the consumer. But it's about how you criticize. Do you, A, make a fair, opinionated review, or do you, B, throw a tantrum kicking and screaming like a child? Today we're talking about the latter. Now, if you do not know what ComicsGate is, allow me to explain. ComicsGate is an alt-right campaign that specifically targets the idea of implementing diversity and progressiveness, claiming that supposed forceful shoehorning of both people of color and the LGBTQI+ community is ruining the quality of the art form. From what I can tell, the vitriol is mostly directed at Marvel Comics, specifically due to the all-new, all-different run, but we'll get to that. Right now, we need to talk about buzzwords, and trust me, there is a lot to talk about. The earliest moment where loud losers started screaming about stupid things is in July 2017, where on Twitter, Heather Antos, an editor at Marvel Comics at the time, had gathered multiple co-workers at the company to post for a photo celebrating the life of Flo Steinberg, who had passed a week beforehand. This innocent and lovely tribute to a co-worker and icon of the industry opened the damn floodgates, leading the trolls and people who genuinely believed this crap to openly harass Antos and her co-workers. They stated that the post was everything that's wrong with Marvel, calling all the women in the post fake geek girls and the creepiest collection of stereotypical SJWs anyone could imagine, as well as other statements I refuse to repeat. And whilst fans had banded together in support of Antos, little could be done, and she's since left Marvel. Though I hear she is doing quite well at IDW. This, unfortunately, would only be the first incident, as the group was unfortunately establishing itself, following an incident at New York Comic Con 2017, where angry retailers started yelling out obscenities during a Marvel-hosted breakfast event. They were upset that, and I'm quoting here, black, homo, and frickin' female comics were causing the decline at the time. Marvel had been doing the all-new, all-different run, in which male characters like Wolverine and Thor had passed some mantras on to female characters. The X-Men character Iceman had come out as gay, and Amadeus Cho had become the mainline Hulk. Now, these things were perfectly fine. I actually think these are some of the best and coolest things to happen to these characters. It breathed new life into them and made the characters more interesting to read. But of course, bigots didn't care, and they were just shouting obscenities. And of course, other retailers did speak out, but the word had been said, and ComicsGate had truly begun. I want to point something out. Yes, in the late 2010s, comic sales were known to be down, but it's not because of any forced inclusivity or anything like that. Kamala Khan's Miss Marvel was doing amazingly well, Squirrel Girl was doing amazingly well, and Carol Danvers' Captain Marvel was doing really well. It's nothing to do with forced inclusivity, it's purely about assholes and people who I don't respect. Much like Richard C. Meyer is the most pathetic individual I've ever looked into a video. He has said terrible things about women in the comic industry, saying most women in the industry sucked their way into it. And he also described a comic writer who was a trans woman as a man in a wig. Outside of his blatant misogyny, he has a weird hatred specifically for Ironheart's Riri Williams, creating Project Rebirth, an alternate world where Riri Williams was seriously injured and attacks Tony Stark, which on the surface is an interesting concept, but after reading it, it's just an offensive and hurtful caricature of the character, doing horrible things to justify Meyer's hate. It's lazy, ugly to look at, and just overall pathetic. I also want to mention Meyer also harassed numerous retailers because they refused to stock his book, Jawbreakers. To be specific, he encouraged his followers to publicly post and circulate the names, locations, and employee information. One place was even robbed after doubling down on the fact that they wouldn't stock the book. However, whether or not the robbery was actually connected to Meyer's fanbase, I have no idea. Regardless, this led to Myers' publisher, Antarctic Press, dropping him, citing his behavior. This would lead to Meyer accusing writer Mark Waid of pressuring the publisher, to which both he and Antarctic Press denied. Meyer, dissatisfied, would take legal action, suing Waid for, and I'm quoting, tortious interference with contract and defamation. Wade's lawyer, Mark Zaid, which, yes, does sound like Wade being a fake name, but no, it is actually his attorney's name, he declared that Myers was dropped purely because of his actions, publicly attacking people of the industry, specifically when Myers took to Twitter and called Ta-Nehisi Coates a race hustler. He also accused multiple female workers in the industry of only being hired due to gender, and called trans and non-binary writers of DC a modern-day carnival. This legal battle would go for just over 2 years before Myers would eventually just drop his case against Wade. The other big figure of ComicsGate is freelance illustrator Ethan Van Sciver, whose most noted works include the rebirth of runs of Flash and Green Lantern specifically. I just want to say this before I go any further. Ethan Van Sciver can draw. His art is actually quite nice to look at, even his independent work, Cyberfrog. But good work doesn't excuse horrible choices, including, but not limited to, and I've had to bring my phone out so I can remember all this shit, Ethan, you named your sketchbook My Struggle, which, for everyone watching, if you didn't know, was the name Hitler used for Mein Kampf, but in English. You have said that it was a joke. Yeah, such a good joke that you now use a swastika, or very close to one, for your signature when signing books. What else? Oh yeah, I also guess it was a joke when you told a fan on Facebook to kill themselves. Or when Daryl Ayo refused to go on Richard Meyer's YouTube channel, your fans harassed him in droves. Or was it a joke when you likened cartoonist Dave Sims' relationship with a 14-year-old girl to Elvis and Priscilla, which, by the way, wasn't a good thing? In conclusion, ComicsGate is nothing more than a bunch of angry people shouting obscenities, harassing people of color, women, and the LGBTQI+ community. And here's the thing. I don't understand how you can enjoy medium like comic books, particularly hero-related books, and then say this shit. If you really cared about the medium and the way it's made and the things and the stories told inside, you could be idols and actually spout positivity. Not this hateful, bigoted bullshit. Thank you so much for watching. I've been the Comic Wraith. If you've enjoyed today's video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps. And if you'd like to help me some more directly, I do have a Patreon linked in the description below. I don't want to talk about ComicsGate anymore. It has been the most morally fucking depressing thing I've ever had to look into for a video. Oh god. I didn't even cover like half of it. I just covered like the important bits I thought were important. I'm done. Yeah, I'll do something a bit more positive next time. But thank you all for watching. Later.